I'll be analysing Graham Potter's tactics at Brighton, the potential Tottenham first 11 with him in charge, and a possible transfer this summer. Since arriving at Brighton in 2019, Graham Potter has implemented an entertaining style of play at Brighton, completely changing the face of the team. An expansive, attacking and flexible setup which sees all players thinking in a forward manner. He doesn't have a singular formation that he chooses and sticks with, instead rotating the side and changing the formation regularly. Most recently playing a 3-4-1-2 as well as a 3-4-2-1, and last season we saw him set up with a back four more often than we've seen this season. He's very adaptable with the systems that he plays and will change the setup of the team throughout the match to keep it difficult for the opposition. It means that the players can take a little while to adapt to the different ways that Graham Potter likes to set the team up, but I think that is something that the Tottenham team would flourish in. With the formations used this season at Brighton, it's seen an improvement in the amount of goals conceded. Brighton have become better in defence with 42 goals conceded after 36 games, compared to last season after 36 matches, 53 conceded. And most impressively, last season they averaged 20.6 shot creating actions per 90 against them, so the opposition were having a lot of chances. This season that has improved so much with 13.5 shot creating actions per 90 against them. A big part of that improvement has been the influence of Yves Bissouma at defensive midfield. Potter would be getting something similar in Højbjerg at Tottenham. Bissouma has made the most tackles and interceptions for Brighton this season. Now, where Brighton are playing a back five, this doesn't mean that they play in a negative way. With Mourinho, you've seen defensive, negative football using 4 at the back, which the players haven't enjoyed. The 5 at the back with Potter we've seen has given him a better defensive structure and allows him to attack while having trust in the centre-backs behind them. We can see how positive Brighton have been this season, making the 6th most touches in the attacking penalty area with 951, in comparison to Tottenham this season in 13th with 681. We can also see how they've done this with their penetrative passing into dangerous areas. 356 passes into the penalty area is the 5th most in the league, and from there looking to shoot at goal, they average a distance of 16.3 yards from goal when shooting, which is the 4th best in the league. West Ham do this really well, being an average of 15.3 yards from goal when shooting. That is the closest in the Premier League, and we can see how well that's working for them this season. The reason why Brighton are where they are in the league right now is due to the forwards in the team not being clinical enough. And this doesn't come down to the manager. We can see how positive they are being. Getting into the right areas is then down to the players to finish off the chances. So if Potter can manage a team with Harry Kane as your striker, Heung-min Son and the partnership they have, we could be looking at another few fantastic goal-scoring seasons from Kane. It's been highlighted on social media about the expected goals of Brighton. It currently stands at 49.8 expected goals, where they've only scored 36. One thing to note with the Brighton team this season, which I covered earlier in the season, is how their results have been better when they have less than 600 touches. Brighton this season have had 19 matches with 600 touches or more, where they've only won 1 match, 13 points gained from 57. Whereas 16 matches with less than 600 touches, they've won 7, getting 25 points from an available 51. Once again, 6 wins from 12 matches where they've had 45% possession or less. What you can maybe suggest with this is that the attackers find it easier to finish in less congested penalty areas. When they're having so many touches in the attacking penalty area in the opposition half, they're getting many people into the box. The opposition can fill that area to counter it, leading to a very congested box where it becomes fairly difficult for players to get shots in the back of the net, at least when you haven't got finishing like Harry Kane. So looking at the Tottenham squad, why could this work so well for them? Well, first of all, because of how clearly they express their negative thoughts towards the style of play under Mourinho. To have a fresh mindset, a manager telling you to play positive and attack, this will have a big uplift on their moral and get the players going again. It should have an impact on the mentality side of things. But also because I think it can get the best out of players that we haven't seen the best from yet. One player that sticks out is Giovanni Lo Celso. I think he could thrive in a Graham Potter side. Letting the midfielder express himself and want to attack, I think there's more to come from him. For Real Betis in 2018-19, he was a midfielder working mostly in the opposition half. He had that attacking freedom by operating higher up the pitch, where he scored 9 goals and assisted 4 times that season. To get this out of him at Tottenham, you could try positioning him as an attacking midfielder in a 3-4-2-1. He made 47 passes into the penalty area for Real Betis, which was the most for the team, being the main creator for them. I think Potter would see this as a great opportunity to get the best out of Lo Celso behind Harry Kane and around the box. Looking at the team as a whole, you could potentially go for something like this in that 3-4-2-1 system. As the other attacking midfielder / left forward, you have Son, where in this formation he's narrower, but of course in the match he's operating out wide a little more. As Reguilon can push up though from left wing back, this allows Son to come narrower and make runs into the box to receive the ball and score, or run into the half space to receive the ball from Reguilon. With Reguilon on the left, you've got Doherty on the right. Even though he came in last summer, I think this is a position where they can improve once again. The midfield partnership of Højbjerg and Ndombele gives a good balance of a solely defensive midfielder in Højbjerg, who's been one of the best in the Premier League this season, and those great performances of his came when he was playing as a lone defensive midfielder in a Mourinho team that was defensive, so Højbjerg was having to do a lot of defending. But in this setup with Ndombele pushing up, Højbjerg will find himself staying back and defending the counter if the opposition break. Then the defence, well, another department which I think needs improving with new players, but this system does have potential for the squad of players that they have in midfield and attack already. You can alternate the formations, maybe a 4-2-2 with Kane and Bale as the split strikers. That depends on Gareth Bale staying at Tottenham, but in this formation you would see Kane staying central here, Bale on the right taking up positions out wide, with Bergwijn also coming into the side, and he's another player that we can start to see more from as he begins to get more of the ball in a more positive setup. With the fullbacks pushing high in this formation, you would definitely see Højbjerg staying back at all times and acting as the holding midfielder we've seen this season. In a 3-4-1-2, you could see Dele come into the side and try and get back into the form that we've seen from him previously. We know he's really not been happy with Jose Mourinho, and his attitude overall hasn't been the best, but if Graham Potter came into the side, he would have to sort this situation out and maybe give him a second chance. So another formation with the two strikers you could see Potter use from time to time. If we're talking about improving at right back, how good would Lamptey be in this team? It's an easy link to make with the relationship that they have, but it could be that Potter brings him along to a new club. Before his injury this season, Lamptey was one of the best players to watch in the Premier League with his speed, work rate and quality in defence. One thing he showed in particular was running forward with the ball, using his pace and getting into the box where he's then so hard to stop. And it resulted in him winning 2 penalties for Brighton. His carrying stats are brilliant. 3.2 carries into the final third per 90 is the most for Brighton. 8.7 progressive carries, again the most, and an impressive 1.3 carries into the penalty area for a right back. He's got a bright future, that's for sure, and Tottenham could really do with a player like him on the right where Potter will already know how he operates. To see more analysis on how teams can improve, click the subscribe button today so you don't miss out. There's some content that you'll love coming up soon, so please subscribe to Route 1 and like the video if you did enjoy.